So the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light has been out for a little bit now, but we do have 5 different variations of the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light. So since I have all 5 of the versions here, I figured I'd go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison, let you guys know some of my pros and cons for each of these models. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, so let's go ahead and get into it. So just to show you guys the 5, we have the regular one, we have the Parley Ocean version of the ULTRABOOST Light, we have the Goretex version, we have the Y3 version, which is kind of the elevated pair, a little bit more expensive, or a lot bit more expensive, and then the latest and greatest, we have the Cold.Rdy 2.0. These are the 5 that I have. If there's others, I apologize if I don't have it. But if you guys want to shop any of the Adidas ULTRABOOST Lights or any of the 1.0s on their website, I will link them in the description of the video, and if you guys use my links, it does give me a little bit of a kickback, but it also lets Adidas know that you guys saw the channel and support the channel as well, so greatly appreciated. This is the original one, the first colorway that released of the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light. Pretty nice looking colorway, to be honest, and these things are crazy light comparison to some of the other stuff out there. It has the LEP system at the bottom of the shoe. As you can see, it has some crazy bounce back because of it. That's the whole purpose of the LEP. As for the weight, these run in at 10.5 ounces, and this does feature that recycled prime knit upper that we know and love, and it actually says prime knit like right here on the shoe, which is kind of cool as well. So moving on to the Parley Ocean plastic version, you could see this is a very special one that has quite a bit of changes, and it's kind of nice that they do this, at least for the last 2 or 3 years, for Parley actually gets their own version of the Adidas ULTRABOOST flagship. In this version, you could see the upper is completely different. They did the prime knit upper, but you could see the extra embroidery around for added detail. Also, there's no lace cage on here, so that's a big, huge difference there. The most stretchy version of the non-standard tongues out here. Check this out, and then check this out. Like, this is stretchy, but this is like crazy stretchy, and I think it's because it's ribbed and stuff. I like that. But then you do have the Parley Ocean little tag here, and then you have a little bonus tag on the back. I like the look of that as well. The color blocking is nice on here as well, but overall the knit upper is a little bit softer on here, but then you do have the cageless version as well. And then the weight on here is 10.5. Now, one small difference, this is a size 10 instead of a 9.5. These are a little bit lighter because you don't have that plastic cage on the side of the shoe, so throwing that out there, it's kind of nice. You can see the outsole looks exactly the same as the predecessor, with exception of obviously the different colors of the rubbers and stuff, but it is the same outsole, has that same continental grip. One other difference you can see for the top lace, they have extra little attachment there, so it's kind of nice. Little wings on the sides look pretty cool. But all in all, this is a very different version than the base version, as you can see. So there is a side-by-side of those two. The knit pattern is totally different, and the materials and everything in between. So very cool that they changed it up. And moving on, we do have the Goretex version. Now, this is kind of a bummer. I did get the wrong size. Adidas sent me a 9. I'm normally 9.5. Probably could go with a 10 in these ones as well, because the Goretex versions do fit a little bit snug. So this one is a little bit snug for me, but it is a nice one, and you do have that Goretex protection on the upper. If you live in an area like I do in Oregon, where it rains a lot, like this is a very nice pair to wear outside. There is obviously quite a bit of differences from the standard pair here that make this like that much better. So one of the major differences is the regular outsole traction, and then you have the Continental winter grip on the bottom here. So it's definitely more rugged on the bottom here, which if you want that extra trail traction and stuff, like this is a great option. The lace cage is the same, as you could see here and here, but you do have a difference around the collar of the shoe and the tongue. So this tongue is not very stretchy. So this is probably the hardest one, for at least for me, to get on my feet, but part of the reason might be just, again, because of the sizing. However, you probably want this construction the way it is, because if you don't want like a regular style tongue, if you do, then the water will seep through, and you don't want that obviously with Gore-Tex shoe. This Gore-Tex is really cool too. You can see there's like 2 different layers here, which is interesting because when you wear them and you get them wet, water does get trapped in here briefly, and then it will just kind of go away. But it is kind of interesting. It goes through this membrane down to the other one, and then you'll actually be able to see the water puddle up underneath here. But none of it gets through to your foot. I did some pretty extensive testing outside with the hose, and it was very, very water resistant. You do also get some extra fused material around the toe box of the shoe. Like that, definitely adds a lot of extra protection, makes them a little bit more rugged, as you'd expect in this version of the Adidas ULTRABOOST Goretex. The difference between these and some of the predecessors is you had a shroud over top for 2 different versions previous, and one of them had a front zip, one had a side zip, and this one went away with it completely. More streamlined. I actually really like the look of that. And then I also like that you do have that pull tab on the back. There's also some fused material underneath the lace cage right here, and that actually runs around to the tongue here as well. So some definitely added protective elements that are very welcome. And once again, you will have the Goretex branding right here. Now, while we're comparing this, we might as well compare this one next, because this is the Cold.Rdy version. So the Cold.Rdy version is the one that has the warmer material for your feet, and your feet definitely feel nice and toasty when you're walking around in these versus some of the other options. I was actually really surprised at how much warmer my feet were when it was like really cold outside. I was freezing cold, but my feet were actually super warm. So interesting. Also, you do have some extra fused materials over top of the toe box, and it goes around the side panels as well. And you do have the same style of lace cage as you do on the Gore-Tex version, as you could see here. Same exact midsole as you could see on all of the versions, because it is the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light midsole. And you can tell it's the Adidas ULTRABOOST Light version because it actually says Light Boost right here. But one of the major differences on this pair versus the other 5 out here is it has a detached tongue. And for somebody that has a wider foot, especially like this section right here, I don't like the snugness on top of my foot. I have the ability to relax all the way and slide in. So these are the easiest option for sure to get on your feet. I love that. I wish they would make a regular standard Adidas ULTRABOOST version with this as well, because as I mentioned, these are very warm on your feet. So for summertime, if it gets 100 degrees around you, these are probably not going to be the most comfortable option, because it is going to be extra warm for your feet. But if you need the extra warmth for your feet in general, you just have cold feet or bad circulation, this is a really good option because your feet will definitely stay warmer than the other options. Also, for the outsole traction, it's the same exact outsole traction as you get on the Gore-Tex version. So you get the Continental Winter Grip, and I like that they reuse that on both of them because it is a very nice tread on the bottom. And if you look at the Winter Grip bottom, I like that it looks kind of like a bike tire effect versus a standard pair. So you definitely get a little bit more traction on the bottom, makes these a lot more durable. Maybe it lasts a little bit longer because of that. So these two are great options for your feet depending on what you're looking for. So the Cold.Rdy version is actually water resistant with this upper, but this version, the Gore-Tex version, is waterproof. You can soak this one and your feet are going to be good. The Cold.Rdy version is probably not one you're going to get soaking wet. I would not recommend that personally. It's just something that you can wear when it's raining and stuff, and your feet will stay drier than an all mesh pair of sneakers. Also, something to note, the liner of the Cold.Rdy version is a little bit thicker than the other versions as well. It's a thicker mesh, but it's definitely warmer on feet. And then this version you can see has a little bit of a lining around the tongue and the heel of the shoe. Versus the original pair's liner, this is actually pretty nice just overall. And then since I'm transitioning back to that, you can see the liner of the Parley version, actually pretty nice as well. It's kind of more similar to the Cold.Rdy versions than any of the other ones out here. Something I just noticed as well, you can see the back tabs are totally different on each version of these as well. So you have a little bit of extra material right here on the Cold.Rdy. The Gore-Tex version has the full-length pull tab. The Parley version has a little flag tag back here, and then the standard version has nothing. Let's go ahead and get into the last one, though, and this is by far one of the craziest ones because the price point of these Y3 ULTRABOOST Lights are insane. So this is the Y3 version, as you can see from the tag right here, and it is like, I think over $300 or close to $300 for this one when they came out. Pretty crazy, and honestly I saw these and I was just like in love with this. It's very simple looking, but the design elements are so nice. How you have the 3 stripes down through the cage all the way down into the midsole, and it kind of fragments apart down there. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, you could just spray paint your own. Yeah, you probably could. I wouldn't be able to make it look as clean though. It's like sloppy but clean. I don't know how to describe it. You have an all black outsole, as you can see here, with exception of the boost. You do have an all black knit upper, which is very similar to the regular pair. However, you do have some extra layers of embroidery that kind of look like some extra, like, you have a pair of denim jeans and they have the extra materials over top of them and stuff. Like it's like sewn on right here, which is kind of interesting look there. I actually kind of like it. And then you do have a fused on Y3 on the tongue, simple branding, the white branding on the inside with a Y3, and then obviously the hang tag as well. But here is where I don't like this shoe right here, is because the second one, the other shoe, or the left shoe, has a signature, Yamamoto signature, instead of the 3 stripes. So I was like, wait a minute. And I think this one looks pretty cool, but in my opinion, it should have been this on one side and then this here on the lateral side of the shoes. So then you'd have both of the things happening instead of just one or the other. I don't know. I wish this was the overall vibes from both of them, because this is why I really like the shoe. Do you get better materials? I mean, honestly, it's not that much better. It's just like a regular pair. There's no leathers and suedes that make it better. You do have some extra heel cushioning in the liner of the shoe right here. Surprisingly, you don't even get like a leather liner in the inside of the shoe. But if you're buying a Y3 version, you kind of know what you're getting. You're paying for the name at that point. I think the execution and the design, though, looks really good. But here's the lineup. 5 different versions of Adidas ULTRABOOST Lights. Which one should you buy? Honestly, it just depends on you, your pocketbooks, and some of the things that you guys are interested in. For the standard pairs, they have a bazillion different colors of these, and they are the most breathable, like the ones that are actually used for running, but also you could wear these casually and they're going to be great all-around shoes. Honestly, you can't go wrong with the original. The Parley version is definitely nice as well, a little bit more for the casual because you don't have as much lockdown for the upper, but definitely a really nice pair as well. And something I like with the different materials for the upper, especially if you like that extra eco-friendly vibe, Parley is definitely a good option as well. For the waterproof people, you need the Gore-Tex versions for sure. This is the one that is going to be the most rugged for your feet that have the most protection. If you need a warmer option for your feet and a little bit of water resistance, the Cold.Rdy version can be a nice option if you don't need as much waterproofedness, I guess, of the Goretex version. Also, the added major bonus, the fact that it has a relaxed tongue on here, makes these an excellent choice for myself. Then you do have the more luxury version, the Y3 version, which I personally think look really, really awesome. With exception of the fact that this is only on one shoe. My biggest complaint, I wish it were on both. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It was fun for me to be able to make and show you guys and showcase the different versions of the Adidas ULTRABOOST lights. And, you know, I like that Adidas does this. Some people probably don't really realize that they have this many versions. I'm definitely one of those people that constantly like look at the page and wait and see if there's different versions that they're releasing, because I know I'm a fan of the Goretex one every single year. I'm a fan of the Cold.Rdy one as well because of the different elements. And then obviously the Parley ones are kind of nice as well. So anyway, that's the look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did like this style of video instead of me just doing a face and then B-roll over, let me know, because I like being able to do it this way with this camera instead of my other one. But thanks again for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you guys want to buy any of the pairs that are out here, please use the links in the description. Greatly appreciate it. It supports myself, my family, and the channel. And have a good rest of the day. Thanks for stopping by. Peace, guys.